Welcome back to this SaaS Adventure Series with Jyoti Bansal. So Jyoti, I'd like to talk a little bit about HR, building a team. You have a very interesting background on multiple levels. You're now managing, I want to say 500 plus people at AppDynamics. But I believe you didn't have a lot of management experience before AppDynamics. Can you talk a little bit about your management experience before and how you've learned how to do this?
Sure. I never managed a single person before AppDynamics. So that's I've learned all how to manage people in during my journey at AppDynamics. And it's interesting, right? You always hear that it's all about people. It's all about hiring the right people. But sometimes it sounds cliche, but as an entrepreneur, you learn it again and again and again that really is true. That is the number one thing. There's no way you can scale any business without having the right people. So and I look at it like it's two things. It's like you want to hire the best people, but it's also about culture. Because if you have the best people and you're not giving them the right environment to perform at their best, you're not doing it right. And second is eventually you will lose those people because they want to perform at their best.
So what are you doing to foster a winning culture at AppDynamics?
Culture is a hard thing. It's not like that it's you could have any exact kind of science around it. A lot of there are a few things you have to do. First of all, you have to define your culture. By defining it, by articulating it, you can find people who would believe in that or not, right? You will find people who are living that or not. So that's one element of it. The second part is you have to live it, and start from the top. The leaders in the company have to live the culture. Like for example, the primary cultural value that we have is what we call culture of customer centricity. That everything has to be customer centric. We are not in the business of building cool technology. We are in the business of solving problems for customers. We are not in the business of just making money at some point. We are in the business of solving customer problems. If we solve problems, we will make money. That's how we look at it, right? So, but I have to live it from the top. So there would be decisions that I have to make at some point, right? Where the choice A versus choice B, and if I'm making the choice B that doesn't live up to the culture, everyone else will stop believing in it at some point, right? So you have to set the example. So that's first part of it. When you're smaller, it's easier because you're involved in so many things. The culture is a bit tighter. When you scale, and we have scaled from 150 people to now 600 people in the last 18 months, right? So when you scale it becomes hard to keep up, with your cultural values. So there are many things you have to do, and starting from even the compensation and reviews, you have to kind of you have to systematize some of the things of your cultural values. Like for example, we in many of the management roles now, one of the things we evaluate people on is being our culture ambassador. So we judge people on are you living up to the cultural values that we have? Are you getting your teams to live up to the cultural values you have? And we'll evaluate them on it. So it's part. So everyone knows that it's expected from them. And everyone knows that they are being measured on them as well.
That's great. And one of the difficulties I see with founders is in those early stages. As you hire those people and then you start hiring execs to relinquish control. And as you said, it's about people, but it's also about giving up this control to these people. And can you talk about how you were able to do that? And was that difficult for you, or any advice you'd have for founders there?
It's always a little bit difficult to give control, right? To give away control to something, but there is no other way to scale. There is no other way to scale, and so the thing you have to do is you have to hire the people you trust who will do a better job than you, and it's hard for a lot of people to do that. The hiring rule that I always feel like we're talking about sales leadership, right? I always look at someone who understands sales, enterprise sales much more than me, who has much more experience than me, who's much better than me, is who I want to hire. But once I hire that person who is so much better than me, why would I tell them what to do all the time, right? That's the whole reason I've hired them. So so as long as I have the trust, I will let them do it, and that's how I believe in. So you have to hire people who who you really believe in your gut that they are better than you in what you have hired them for, because then you can trust them and you can relinquish what you want them to do.
Say a little bit about how you guys rank on Glassdoor. AppDynamics, from my understanding, always does very well. What specifically did you do to end up with such positive reviews, and positive vibe about your company, and honestly, one of the best CEO approval ratings I think I've seen ever for a software company?
Well, it all comes down to the culture, right? It's the good thing about the sites like Glassdoor is like we really can't do anything about it, right? It's if people are having a good time and they are enjoying the culture, they will write good things about us, right? If otherwise people would not. And it all comes down to the what people look for, right? If you think about what people look for is a mission they believe in. People look for very talented set of people they are working with, because they can all learn. They know that they are with other talented people, the other winners in there. The third thing they want is they want a culture where they are free to perform at their best, that they're not constrained. Good talented people don't like to be constrained by by politics, by bureaucracy, or also things like that, right? And the fourth thing is people want to be part of a winning culture, a winning organization, because that's fun. You can enjoy it, you can have fun, right? So I look at as long as we provide that, people would people would like to work at AppDynamics, and they will recommend AppDynamics to others, and that's all it comes to.